Remains in jail after appearing in court today for a bond hearing. We know Elijah Hyman faces a string of criminal charges, including one related to terrorism. Police got a call several hours after the Yo Gotti birthday bash ended. They say Hyman may have planned to hurt the people leaving the FedEx Forum Friday night and himself because of a breakup with his girlfriend. Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Merle Purvis. Daryl Green has the night off. So we are learning more about what happened during the moments leading up to a potential mass shooting in downtown Memphis. Fox 13's Daniel Wilkerson joins us tonight with more on what you've been able to find out. Daniel?
Merle, Fox 13 uncovered that Elijah Hyman was nearly a free man, but a judge said not so fast. Tonight, he remains in jail with even more charges than he had initially. Fox 13 traveled up to the top of the Chiska Apartments in downtown Memphis to give you this view. It shows you approximately the eye line from Elijah Hyman's apartment. Michael Moeller lives in the building. He says he's met Hyman in passing.
Normal guy, nice guy, kept to himself. You know, we all kind of see each other in the elevator in passing and stuff, so he was a nice guy.
Hyman is the man charged after investigators say he called police needing help. Officers say he just had a breakup with his girlfriend and had thoughts of killing himself and people outside of the FedEx Forum after the Yo Gotti birthday bash. Police say he'd even broken a window to give him an unobstructed view. Officers would find a trove of weapons in his apartment, some of them modified. This is Hyman in court Monday. His attorney, Leslie Ballin.
The immediate issue is his mental health. He is going to stay in custody. He is not going to ask to be released on bond. That is for his safety.
Are his parents in support of him staying with you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The parents are concerned about him.
Back out live, Leslie Ballin, the attorney who you just heard from there, has ordered a mental evaluation on Hyman. He hopes to have the results of those back in before Hyman's next court date. Merle.
Daniel leading our coverage off tonight. Thank you, Daniel. Yo Gotti weighed in on what happened after Friday's concert. In a string of tweets, he wrote, "Thank you to the fans, artists, and everyone involved behind the scenes for making Birthday Bash smooth, secure, and a successful event. We were informed of a potential threat regarding an individual seeking to harm attendees leaving Birthday Bash that occurred 3 hours after our show ended. I would also like to thank the Memphis Police Department for their swift and proactive actions, ensuring that all attendees returned home safely."